It's my baby doll, that's you, welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News. Non-believers will be mogged. The biggest news of all, friends, is that Incentive Token has had a whopping 90% inflation reduction. It has now become a lot more scarce. Or, if you're from the northern part of Ireland, scarce. I do love and appreciate every single one of you. There's been some big moves actually happening. If you just look at the PulseChain Core coins, we'll start off with that, friends. Ink is up 60%. Now, will it get dumped down just like Hex? This is a 24-hour reading. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But big moves are happening. Richard is taking like pretty much a dovish stance now. This is the equivalent of the US Federal Reserve coming out and just slashing interest rates. They're at like 4.5%, 4.5 for US. It's like if Jay Powell came out and said, okay, now they're 2%. Now, you're not meant to do giant moves like this to shock an economy, but I think Richard's pretty much, he's had enough of Ethereum, soy culture. Look, man, I've been tweaking my nipples every single day to pump this stuff out, friends. I can tweak them. Why? Okay, we don't skip chest day. We don't skip leg day here. You know, everyone at Ethereum, they got to promote a culture of winning, but there's a silver lining for all this. Like, everybody needs Ethereum to win for us to actually benefit, because Ethereum is like the biggest whale mouth and just catches a lot of fish. But you know, we'll see what happens from here, friends. Remember, I will not doubt if Vitalik or anyone. I know they're all geniuses. They'll eventually say the right words and make the right actions to do stuff, because they'll come to the conclusion where like you can be pragmatic and like. You can pretend to be like, here's the diplomacy, and I'm going to be political, and I'm centrally neutral. But here's the thing, man. You're trying to help people in the world, right? Yeah, but when you're a loser, people look at you like you're a loser. The same people you're trying to help, they walk away from you because they think you're a loser, you know? So the very people you're trying to bring decentralization options to and show them all the benefits of Ethereum, and all these other great things that you claim. Yeah, but if you just look like an absolute trash soy boy loser chain and this vibe, which is a culture of anti-winning, as like the Tamagotchi lady said, like, I don't care about winning and stuff out here. Okay, dude, like, okay, the market's going to price you like a loser. And then you're going to feel like a loser, and you're going to realize you're human, except Vitalik, like the rest of us, okay? When everybody's infected with this, like, dopamine reduction, when your neurotransmitters are fried, it's just not even pumping any serotonin anymore, you literally feel like a loser. And guess what? You will get weeded out, and then all the great things that you built, they get vampired by everyone else. But don't worry, friends, it's not like they can't hear this and see this. The market's pretty much told them about the prices, and then they'll learn from it. But let's crack on to the news, friends. I'll just start off by showing you the Bitcoin price chart. Of course, we haven't moved much on this weekend at all, or recently. I did use a red emoji. I know some people, I know it might be considered racist, bit transphobic to use a red emoji here for Bitcoin, but look, man, it's 95K. So look, man, I wanted to use that red emoji just in case, you know, just in case it's a bit of a shocky poopy time ahead as we like wait until March starts. Why are we waiting for March starting? I don't know, dude. In 2017, March was the month that just started going up. You know, someone asked me yesterday, Sammy, what happens if we don't go up in March? And what happens if Ethereum is still down? Sir, I don't know. Just keep holding. That's what it is. Okay, that's what, like, look. If you go back 4 years ago, and 8 years ago, and 12 years ago, each of the 3 cycles, right? Of crypto, if you ask people, hey, what happens if we just go to zero and there's an inflation bug tomorrow? They're like, okay, we lost everything. You get it? So you had to have that blind faith no matter what. That was the only way to make it out of this poopy time. Now, we do have the weekly chart for Bitcoin sitting here. And it's nice, right? It's hovering still in the green weekly super trend. But you don't really care about the Bitcoin price chart, do you? You care all about the altcoins like me. You know, friends, there are a lot of people I've seen on Twitter, and I like seeing people confused, weak, misinformed. I like that. People not with us, with other people out there, your competition, our competition. I like seeing that, because it reminds me just how well equipped and how knowledgeable you are and I am together. How far our expertise has come. I know it doesn't look like expertise at all. Looks like being poopy times. But you're basically way more alpha invigorated than them. And what I mean by that, well, a lot of people come out and saying, oh, golly gee, I just can't figure out why everybody feels bad about the altcoins. So all these people are saying that, and they do not know anything about ratios, okay? Because what they're saying is, last time I checked, Ethereum is $2,700. Golly gee, that should be great. Yeah. See, you are the guy who the hotels made the cuck chair for. That guy, you are the cuck, okay? The government is on the bed with your personal finances and your store of wealth, and the government is penetrating that, and you're watching and you're enjoying it. So let's bounce that back to crypto now. It's the same thing. See how the government is basically abusing your purchasing power by printing money. They pay you 4% yield with one hand, but they're diluting 7% with the other hand. So you're losing minus 3% every year if you invest in the government bond every single year, yeah. And the government says, "Don't worry, you're making money," because our fake inflation rate is only like 3%, which no one believes anyway. That's a bunch of BS. Yeah, the real inflation rate's 7%. That's how much they're diluting. Well, in crypto, the thing is, you can do that same purchasing power. You use Bitcoin as the base money supply, which is the first OG crypto, of course. Now, if you look at altcoins, others BTC is so far low, it is back to, let's go all the way back, it is back to the same levels it was in June 2017. That's how horrific it is. Effectively, altcoins in this new index, compared to back then, even with all these innovations, DEXs, layer 1 chains, and swapping and money markets, even with all of them, altcoins are so bad, including Ethereum, they've round-tripped 7 years of gains. Basically, you've gone nowhere in 7 years. Now, is it a statement that's permanent? No. Markets are never permanent, right? The price never goes sideways forever, yeah? It's always trying to price stuff up and down in ranges. So, that's why everybody's sad, is because the market is so cheap and so low now, it's effectively saying you are a waste. For the past 8 years, altcoins, you've added nothing. Now, is the market right? Well, maybe it's right today. Is it going to be right in 12 months? If it goes up, maybe everyone's going to say, "Oh, but the market's now normal now," just like it got euphoric up here. So I think you're a real poopy head if you think that we should deserve to be like all the way down here when NFTs and DeFi and stuff were able to give you 50% ratio pricings. Now it's down to 13%. My gosh. And that's obviously what makes a market. So if you just look at USD pricing, you're a cuck. Okay, you are sitting in the hotel cuck chair. You understand nothing about purchasing power. You are the perfect citizen for not all the world governments. You're the perfect citizen. You shut your mouth. You have no idea how it works. You help basically whip everybody else into shape just based off the USD price. You're basically helping to spread misinformation from the government to make everybody think that they're still winning when they're actually getting cucked. Okay, this is the ETH BTC ratio going down. And of course, we know from Ethereum altcoins have been ravaged from that as well. And yes, we can see that on the others ETH ratio, which I've shown you 50,000 bajillion times. This is Ethereum's price chart. Yeah, man. Yeah, this is cuckery. However, we need to start moving up, but we've known that. There's nothing else we can do right now. Now, going on some cracker news, friends. Richard Hort has cut incentive token inflation by 90%. So instead of giving out 1 a second, now it's 0.1. Okay, so it's 90% reduction cut. The PulseX yield farms have been removed drastically. Basically, there's no point being in V1. And people are trying to interpret, what does it mean? What does it mean? Well, I'll show you what it means. I'm just going to go to the farm page here. PulseX, this used to give like 10%. Now it gives 1. Yeah. Inc used to give like 38%. Now it gives 3.8. These farms, okay? They've been cut by literally 90%. Now, what is this saying? It's basically, friends, like, obviously, I don't speak for Richard, but I think this is Richard's signal to the market. One, Inc is more scarce, big time, just like Hex. Hex is now more scarce, just like the Origin Address movement, which we saw. He's staked on both EHEX and PHEX. They're both more scarce now, the yield handout. Is basically saying if there is a big pump in the next 3 to 5 months because of these prices down here for Inc, your inflation reward handout is not going to compensate you from today if there's big impermanent losses. So knowing Richard, friends, I don't think he starts moving stuff straight away. It's probably like he's preparing for like 2 to 3 months from now, or 1 month. Yes. So before there used to be, I don't know how much the exact number was. Let's say there was like $50 million on the liquidity. We're going to actually go to GoPulse and actually have a look at it now. This is the liquidity page, okay? This is liquidity, friends. So, you know, these big numbers, right? The thicker those numbers are, the more money is needed to push it up. So let's say it was all the core coins added up. Let's say it added up to like $50 million of liquidity on the bid and the ask. Yes, so like 50 on the bid, 50 on the ask. So you just half of it, right? If it was only 50 million, that means to make it go 4x for the whole ecosystem, we got to insert $50 million. However, now that there is less incentive token yield, which I have kindly reminded you is the greenest logo in crypto, it's factual. That's the fundamentals of it. Now that there's less yield, a lot of people are now going to remove their liquidity. Yes, they're going to remove it. So now there won't be 50 million anymore. Maybe it's only going to be like 30 million. Yes, and some of them are going to migrate to like V2 liquidity providing. But on average, it's going to be much thinner, hopefully. And now what I've just quickly done, friends, is on my side, I have gone to, so they were all in V1 farms, right? I've just checked what happens if you move to V2. Remember, V1, PulseX, has a bug in there intentionally left where it hyper burns PulseX buy and burn. It hyper burns it. The fee, there's no fee handout reward for liquidity providing through the trade fees. Now it's just incentive token, right? But now incentive token has been slashed. But if you go look at the PulseX to Pulse yield farm, this is V2, friends. This is the V2 page. On the V2 page, see how it says your past 7 days you've earned 34%. So you think, oh wow, that's great, 34%. No. The total liquidity for this is only 1.4 million. So pretty much, and it's very easy for people to do this. Remember the other one had like, I forgot, like 80 million in it. So this only got 1.4 million. If just another like 1.4 million add, that yields now, it's gonna, in the next, like if the volume continues, it drops down to 17%. And if it becomes like 10 million liquidity, you're only gonna get like 2% again. It's not worth it. Pretty much, your fees aren't enough. And by the way, we just had a volume spike with the Pump Fund JPEG Casino stuff. So the volume spiked up and now it's been like downtrending as well. So I'm just showing you, I think the intention is Richard is basically signaled there's no point providing liquidity now. So it's thinner. Remember, there used to be, say, 50 million in there. Now I guess people are going to track it. Maybe it goes down to 30 million. So like another way to look at it, right? 50 million. So this is what people, I guess, think. If Richard's going to pump $50 million in, yeah, if you're still sitting there with the $50 million of liquidity, he can only make it go 4x. Okay? But now there's incentivized people to hold everything and not provide liquidity. If there's only like 30 million there, it's going to go more than 4x. It might go something like 6 or 7x. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It'll go high because it's thinner now. But also, you might say, Sammy, doesn't that mean it's thinner to dump down? Yeah, but we've had like 4 years since launch. Like, I guess the theory is, friends, that's why like at some point you're like, hey, probably a lot of the sellers are out that you've been wanted to get out. Now it's been enough time. It's been long enough. Now, hopefully Ethereum is on the way up and we're going to have like positive growth to come in. Now, I'm just going to show you the incentive token chart. It is this slight green here. We'll play some Pumpy G music for it. This slightly green. This is what it did on the short term, friends. You had this big thrash up. It did like a 65% move. But yeah, ultimately, that's what it looks like on the weekly. So you've just come back to like a few weeks ago, December. I still have this big arrow now. Now, here's another thing, friends. Another way to interpret this as well is, see how the inflation rate got dropped by minus 10x? Basically, and do you remember how, I guess Richard was happy with the yields right before the inflation cut? Okay, that was like his toggle point. Well, you could think of it like, okay, if we go up 10x from here on all the cores, and incentive token included, that might be the next threshold where we hope to reprice, and then everybody's thick in liquidity again. And then we got to move around there. That's another way to think about it. So remember, friends, Inc is giving 1% on that PulseX to Pulse yield farm. Just showing you the biggest one, right? If it goes up to $20, if it goes up to here, right? So let's say it goes up to $20 now. Let's say it actually does pump. The yield's out here, the yield handout. Now you're getting that percentage to be like it's backed instead of 2%, now it's 20% again. Yeah, because Inc has gone up. That might be the next point that we go to. Does that mean all the coins are going to pump up 10x? I don't know necessarily. That's Inc 10x. You know, maybe Pulse goes up 5. You know, and by the way, that chart I'll show it to you now again. We have the Inc to Pulse ratio because you just want to see how these things move, right? See how it's at 40,000 right now. Well, if Inc goes up 10 and Pulse goes up 5, this thing goes up 2. So that might be the next point where it sits around there for like this period of time. You know what I mean? Just sits around here. And then hopefully by the end, friends, there's another wave. That's alt season wave 2. So this is alt season wave 1, alt season wave 2. That's what we're hoping. Because look at this. Look how thick it was here with the liquidity, right? So that would be nice. So if we went up like this, what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, it means like, I mean, from today, let's just do this number. If we actually got somewhere today, that means Inc did a 3.6x on Pulse. So if Pulse did 30, this thing did like 100, and that's your Inc at like say $200 if that happened. Now Inc and the party's coming out like woo, we're fine, but just got to protect you as well, protect your expectations a bit as well. Hex after the origin address made it more scarce, just retraced right back down. You know, I mean, this is EHEX as well. EHEX retraced literally, man. You know what? That is exactly the SEC move for XRP. I remember that chart. Comes up, comes back here. That's literally it. So retraced basically the whole move on making it more scarce. And it's the same thing for PHEX, which I will now show you here. So PHEX, I mean, the weekly candle can't even barely can stay green here. Let's just show you how weak this stuff is. If you go on the daily, like even a 1 hour chart. Yeah, PHEX, same thing. That's all it could get. Whee! And then, so it's the same traders out here. Look, but don't be concerned, fans. Look, I've told you, the fundamentals of crypto and network effects, they're not just these news announcements. They're not like, these are just catalysts, yeah? See, why is Hex and why is Pulse and why is Inc, why are they at the prices that they are alongside PulseChain, PulseX, everything? Why are they there? Because of Ethereum. You know that. Ethereum is the big representation of the pricing model that we see out here. We are still in this PulseChain wedge. What would make us pop up? Look, I hope it's Auntie Carol stuff. I hope Judge Auntie Carol gives a good result and then we can move up. Maybe there's a retrace on the scan, a blood moon, and then we continue up. Yes, Eric Wall, I think he's going to win his bet. But also, it would be funny if Richard just did this. Oh my God, imagine. Just imagine. Yeah, but that's imagining, friends. Yeah, I'm just enjoying the dopamine. I'm like, come on, but it's been a long 4 years of just going down. I feel the pain, friends. I feel it. But yeah, like as much as I feel the pain, like you go back to the fractals. Yeah, man, in 2017, with the same president, it was March that everything started moving. And you know, you don't want it to go exactly the same. You're like, can you just move earlier, man? I want it now. But by the way, when people say that, when you hear other KOLs, they say, oh, people are greedy, people are impatient. Shut up, dude. You only look at 2017 like it was an amazing thing because you knew it went 100x higher. XRP did a 600x in 2017. Ethereum did a 100x. The whole crypto industry blew up. Bitcoin did a 20x in 2017. 17x to be exact. So you're only looking at it with the benefit of hindsight. Yeah, well, what if we don't go that amount this cycle? What if we don't? Okay, then it's not people just can't be patient. No, people are actually upset and they feel they've been robbed and scammed. Yeah, that's it. So have some empathy for people because it's always these losers out here who like most of the time they either fluked it, lucky, they're doing ICO pump and dumps. They're not in the trenches with you and me actually figuring this stuff out. They're just talking like I just can't believe why people feel sad. You can't figure out that people who watched others get really rich in 1 year 3 times before. You can't figure out that people now have their life savings in this technology and they're pissed off that there's all these VCs, layer 2 grifts, and the whole shitcoin industry just keeps bleeding out 7 years of value against Bitcoin and things are still getting worse. You can't figure out why people are upset. You can't figure that out. You can't figure out that Ethereum was meant to be the chosen one, was strong in a bear market, and then fooled everybody and scammed us by being weak in the bull market because Ethereum has a lot of leaders who've been drinking soy and don't care about winning anymore because they're all really rich. You can't figure that out. You know, friends, just some people, like I say, every time I go in a hotel room, I now look at that chair differently. Yeah, my chair's squeaky. Yeah, but look what my chair faces. My chair's facing you. It's facing you. What's the cuck chair facing, friends? You know, it's facing some naughty business. So Richard Hart's incentive inflation token, I'll speak more about it again. Friends made some posts, but in other news as well, Trump said Elon's Doge, they're going to audit the Pentagon. And I'm just thinking, bro, just can you guys do this in the bear market, please? Hold that off. Pentagon failed the 7th audit in a row, which is hilarious. They've been missing $820 billion last year. And, you know, people are going to say corruption. Corruption is not corruption, bro. They're building advanced weapon UFO tech. Neil deGrasse Tyson is full of shit. Okay, NASA is a corrupt, evil, satanic institution. We all know these friends are. They have advanced UFO tech. They can manipulate gravity already. There is a secret proxy war. There's a secret hidden war going between China and America. It's a race to figure out the advanced UFO tech. Whoever gets to figure it out first, basically you win. You are now the world power because you can now, like, you won't do this, but you could launch nukes, anti-gravity stuff out here. You basically, the whole GDP of your city, you pretty much power everything up. There's an obvious ways to do that. However, America can't let the American public know because, you know, obviously the world's going to know. You can't let everyone know, hey, by the way, we're spending $1 trillion on advanced weapon UFO tech, because it's going to make all the scientists around the world be like, wait a minute. You're spending $1 trillion to find anti-gravity? Why aren't you telling us? I thought anti-gravity couldn't be done yet, you know? And so they just don't say anything, friends. Also, I'm just, please don't do this, guys. Just, can we do this risky stuff in 2 years from now when this bull market's done? I don't want Trump's life in danger or Elon, bro. Just don't do this. Just go do it later. Please go do it later. It's a can of worms. It's kind of funny. Everyone's been spamming Elon. Shout out to Ashton Forbes as well. Everyone's been spamming Elon, bro. They're making you send rockets to the moon like a freaking retard when they have anti-gravity tech. You know that, right? You know they are literally making you look like a fool. You know, Elon? Everyone's been telling him this, and he's like, he skips it. It's like it's, you know, his brain's not ready for it yet. Or maybe he does know. Maybe he does know. I don't know. But he's literally, they're making you look like a retard, dude. Yes, congratulations on your little, just to let you know, friends, our rockets, they're caveman stuff now. Because you're burning energy to go push something forward. It's so inefficient. Yeah, we have 0 point energy. It's confirmed. The Department of Energy has been telling everybody that it doesn't work when they've been doing it themselves. Yeah. So what's 0 point energy? When you cool something down to near zero, there's an actual energy field you can get somewhere. Yeah, you can actually get it. Isn't that cool? Wow, it's amazing. If you cool it down, you can get energy, huh? I thought you only get energy when you heat stuff up. I know. Welcome to the real world, friends. This is exactly that's what we've been doing in the background. You can't let all your rivals and stuff out here learn about this. But yeah, we'll speak more about that a bit later. PulseChain Core coins are pumping, as I showed you, friends. Now, David Portnoy, another news. You know, actually, before we go to David Portnoy, shout out to Sammy Chica, using AI for the right reasons here. This is AI, friends. So I'm just going to play for you Sammy Chica, obviously hooking up with Richard. This is amazing AI, man. This is really, really good. So shout out to Sammy. She's awesome. Hope your daughter's doing well as well. Now, thank you, Sammy. Why am I playing this? Because whenever I see, or whenever we see a kissy AI video where they make two people kiss, you don't want to see it. So I know this is the future and you better prepare. They're going to use AI to do what we've been doing on Twitter to troll people. if someone doesn't agree with the poster, what they do is they take a picture of him and then they make him hook up with another dude. So it's always a guy, and then it's always just two guys just making out, and it's like, it's really just, you don't want to watch it. It's always like they'll get Andrew Tate and someone like it. Like I'm just looking at it's like, friends, it's like advanced Photoshop now. You know, with Photoshop, we're like, oh no, people are gonna like Photoshop people to look like fools. Yeah, but you need some skill to do that, to make it look realistic. Now you can actually just type into the AI, hey AI, you know, can you make Elon make sweet love to Donald Trump and make their bodies look like oiled up? Oh man, like, yeah, just friends, AI conspiracy, let it all go. But the whole, yeah, look, the whole manipulating people, you know, that'd be funny if we have to introduce laws where like you can't tell AI to start making making your friends and family do weird stuff in it, because it's getting too realistic, man. I already know my ones are coming. I already know, friends. It's just like, like this, what, just like, you know, if you're a lady out there, shout out to all of you. What men do is, when we see other powerful men we don't like, we like feminize them straight away to like demasculate. So like, first thing we're gonna do, like when we have the power of this, like whoever we don't like, you know, like a president or from some country or some dude, they'll make him just start kissing other dudes, or they'll put him in a skirt, just do some like really twinky stuff, which it's kind of funny. It's insightful into men, like you know, friends, because you and I, we're not in powerful positions of politics. We'll never ever be in our lives, yeah. But the first thing we do when they give us a little bit of power is we start demasculating everyone. Isn't it interesting? It's the first thing we do. Like, hey, make this guy look like a girl, put some lipstick on him, and make him make sweet love to another guy to do that. Yeah, it's just it's funny. It's funny. It's like humans innately, friends, we have like this this power that pretty much should never be explored. And that's how we have things like World Economic Forum and all these other bug eater crews. Now, unfortunately, David Portnoy has rugged the coin. So if you know, friends, I'll just show you David Portnoy. I'm just a regular American guy. Me, regular American guy. You, American. Me, just a regular American guy. So, David Portnoy, he, just to let you know some backstory, he made a video clip about, you know, when Donald Trump released his celebrity token, David Portnoy, like 12 hours later, he goes, wait, he literally, this video, he goes, wait. You were telling me, like, if someone was to launch a coin, they could just, like, sell it. Obviously, I'm not going to do that, but you just, like, sell it and there's nothing can happen to them. Like, I was like, we're looking at him, we're like, bro, we know you're this close to launching a coin and rugging. And then shout out to Amir, baby doll Amir, found this one wallet before David Portnoy shilled, okay, before he shilled the coin. This one wallet bought 25% of the supply. So this is David Portnoy. Yeah, so this is David Portnoy's wallets. And oh man, David Portnoy is he's sponsored by Kraken, and the wallet that he the wallet that he used to pump and dump, it just sent it to Kraken in 2 seconds. Oh, this is funny. You know what's funny? Because you're watching Soilana people. They're in the cuck chair going like, yeah, this is really good. This movie's getting really good. Like, movie? You got to take her home and clean her after. What do you mean movie? It's your life movie, dude. You're the movie. You're the joke. You give us entertainment, Soilana kids. Joining these pump and dump trash stuff all the time and getting scum jaded by all these celebs who are just dumping on you and laughing. You call yourselves in the trenches. Yeah, bro. People in the trenches, like us, friends, I started that term, by the way. People in the trenches. We're trying to get out of the trenches. When I look at people in Soilana, you're not trying to get out of the trenches, bro. Everything they do, you love staying in the trenches. You're a cuck. Yeah. That's what they are. Now, this is... he bought this 10 minutes before he shilled. As soon as it pumped, he just starts dumping it down. My gosh, man. Oh my gosh. And guess this was the weird part, friends. It was 60 grand. It's 60 grand. David Portnoy net worth is 100 million. Bro, what are you doing making 60 grand? 100 million? It's like, Dude, if friends, even if, okay, maybe it's just assets and like his brand, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you sit on a bar stool or whatever. But even if you had 20 million in assets, if you can earn, like you just say you buy a property or something, if you have $20 million of property, friends, if you're earning just a 4% yield on 20 million, man, you're earning $800,000 a year. You know what? That's probably what he's actually done now. That makes sense. If he earns 800 grand in the year, he pays a bit of tax. He's earning 500 grand. So he rugged something to make like 1 month income. Maybe. That's another way to think about it. Maybe the other 80 million is in his business. Maybe it's revenue and he can't actually like access it. But still, man, like here I am trying to like rationalize. I'm trying to figure out, friends, what, okay, you're a soy boy G. Why? I like asking this question, like what made them, why are they cheating that much? Like, you know, but also, he probably thought he was going to make a lot more. Maybe he thought he was going to make like, you know, that's another thing you got to think about. When people steal and scam brands, you're only looking at the net result. You're not looking at their expectations. Okay. Yeah. Like they made this decision. Like maybe he thought he was going to make, literally like $1 million. Maybe he thought he was going to do that, right? Oh, make $1 million. Like so if you have $100,000 net worth, making 1,000, you're increasing your net worth by 1%. Yeah, so if you have 100 million, yeah, it's another thing, another way to think about it. But it's still like it's kind of fun. I'm just trying to figure out like, hey, why do you do this? But you know what, man? There's no reputation hit to these scum friends. So if there's no reputation hit, they're going to keep doing it. They're poopy heads. Now going back to Pulse, better times hopefully are coming ahead. Where to from here? Well, look, friends, I know this is despair, man. I know this is despair, but in the last 2 cycles, it took from here. Okay, on the first green, we've got to go green. It took 130 days to peak. So I'm not joking, man. We could rush up here. That's alt season wave 1, come back down, and that's alt season wave 2. And by the way, that's a whole year. 140 days, die. 140 days, and that's over. So that's what's happened before. If it doesn't happen, whatever. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.